Over 40 civil society organizations CSOs have united to launch the Climate Justice Movement CGM. The initiative was formally declared at the conclusion of a two-day event in Abuja to advance environmental justice in Nigeria. This collaborative effort signifies a major shift in Nigeria's environmental landscape, reinforcing the commitment of CSOs to hold corporations accountable for environmental degradation and biodiversity loss. It also amplifies African voice in global climate justice dialogues. Spearheaded by Greenpeace Africa, the climate justice movement seeks to consolidate isolated efforts and responses in one powerful force. The goal is to collectively address the disproportionate effects of climate change across the African continent. Sherele Odaya, oil and gas campaigner at Greenpeace Africa, highlighted the environmental and social consequences of unchecked corporate practice.
Of destruction and devastation. From the Niger Delta to other oil-producing regions, both the environment and communities have suffered irreparable damage. The consequences are far-reaching, and the impact doesn't just end with the environment. The social and economic effects are devastating. Entire communities are displaced due to the destruction of natural resources. The livelihoods of farmers and fishers are lost. Many are left without access to clean water and food, and many suffer from ill health. Meanwhile, these corporations responsible for this damage continue to profit and make billions of dollars a year, while communities most affected bear the brunt of the destruction that these oil and gas corporations have caused. With this in mind, Greenpeace will be launching the Polluters Pay Pact in June, calling on governments, financial institutions, national treasuries to impose fines and fair taxes on these oil and gas corporations for the environmental and climate damage that they are responsible for. The revenues generated from these fines and taxes will then be directed back to communities facing the devastating consequences of climate change and environmental degradation. We want everyone to sign this pact, share their stories, and demand justice. The time for change is now.
Elizabeth Atieno, food security campaigner at Greenpeace Africa, noted that oil spills have contaminated fertile soil and fishing grounds across the Niger Delta, creating a food crisis that disproportionately affects women and children. She said when farmers can't farm, the fisher folks can't fish. Entire community face malnutrition and economic devastation, saying climate justice is fundamentally about securing the right to food sovereignty in the face of corporate environmental abuse.
The FAO 2025 update report indicates that 30 million Nigerians, 30 million, are predicted to face acute hunger between June and August this year. Let's remember again, it's not because we don't have the knowledge as Nigerians, it's not because we don't have the land, but it's because our food systems and our people have been left at the mercy of a crisis they did not create. We are the first to feel it. We have to be the first to lead in the fight for climate change. Climate-induced disasters, such as floods and droughts, have devastated agricultural productivity, leading to significant crop losses and threatening the livelihoods of millions. Currently in Nigeria, we lose 40% of its agricultural output annually, amounting to around 3.5 trillion naira. We will not accept being treated as victims, nor are we going to continue to pay the price for the crisis we are not creating, not with our land and not with our children. This is not just a food crisis, it's a justice crisis. But we are coming together as the climate justice movement to change and help our communities build resilience in the face of the climate collapse. We must center agroecology, a farming system that works with nature, not against it. One that protects biodiversity, restores degraded land, and places power back in the hands of local communities.
I'm Martin Sogunlade, and I work for Corporate Accountability and Public Participation Africa, CAPA, as the Associate Director in charge of climate change. Thank you very much for that question. I think the matter of justice is not negotiable, considering the fact that the whole of Africa contributes quite insignificantly to climate crisis. So reparation is not only necessary, it's important, and it's not something we should, reduce to market transaction, And it's important in the sense that what is the crisis that we are currently facing? Global emissions. And then how much of this do we contribute as Africans? Quite insignificantly, less than about 4%. And then we have people whose livelihood are being threatened, people who cannot go to the farm anymore because of desertification, because of flooding, and also because of desert encroachment by factors that are above their head. They are not responsible for these factors. And then you see government still shying away from this responsibility. And rather than government to addressing what the issue is, government is giving free licenses for big corporations to continue to mine. We know for a fact that as long as fossil fuel industry continue to expand on the African continent, there's going to be a threat on our livelihood. And that is why we are invoking the principle of big polluters pay for their historical liabilities and ongoing infractions.